And right here, okay. That night, he asked God again, "Dear God, please don't be mad at me. I want to be sure that you're going to use me to save my people. Tonight, make the fleece dry and the grass around it wet." He placed the wool fleece on the ground and went to bed. When he woke up the next morning, he picked up the fleece. It was dry as a popcorn without butter under his bare feet. The grass was not wet, but the fleece was. No, it said here, it was dry as popcorn without butter, and his bare feet was soaked with water from the grass. Excuse me. It was true. God was going to use him to save Israel. Okay, here's what happened. Gideon, what's this guy's name, Bob?
Gideon.
Who? Gideon. Immediately called a meeting, the people of Israel. God came to me and said that I was going to save my nation. I need warriors to help me get rid of the Midianites. About 32,000 men. How many men?
32,000.
32,000 men volunteered to help Gideon. But God had other plans. He came to Gideon and said, "Gideon, there are too many men." He said, "When you defeat the Midianites with this many men, you will say, 'We did it all by ourselves, and I will get no glory from it.'" He said, "The glory I deserve. Lead these men into the hills, and I will tell you which ones to take with you." Gideon did as God had asked him. God chose only 300 men. How many was they before? 32,000? 32,000. Then at the end of this, after God chose them, how many was he? 300 men. That night, Gideon went to the camp. He tiptoed up to the tent, where he heard a conversation of two men inside. "I had a dream," one of them said. "A big loaf of bread came rolling down a hill through a camp and turned everything upside down." That would have had to been a big loaf of bread. Turned everything upside down. That can only mean one thing, replied a second voice, that God of Israel has given the Midianite camp to Gideon. When Gideon heard this, he looked up to heaven. "Thank you, God, for providing me with strength to accomplish what you've called me to do." He immediately ran back to his army of 300 men. How many men?
300.
300 men. Wake up, everyone. God has given the Midianites in our hand. Listen to me and follow my orders exactly. Now here's where it gets easy. Gideon climbed up on the rock and shouted. Climb up there. Illustration. "We are going to split into 3 groups and surround the Midianite camp." How many groups are we going to split into, Easy? 3. And we're going to surround what? The Midianites. Each of you will grab a trumpet. Each person, 300 men, each of them is going to get a trumpet. Then it says a clay bottle and a torch. When I give you the signal, blow your trumpets and shout to God. All 3 groups of men grabbed their trumpets, bottles, and torches, and silently ran around all the other Midianites. They gathered all around them. Gideon signaled, and they blew their trumpets and smashed their bottles on the ground. A glass bottle, what happens when you smash it?
It breaks.
What's it done? Does it make a noise?
Yeah.
Okay. In the bottle, they smashed the bottles on the ground and shouted, "For the Lord is," and for Gideon. As soon as the Midianites heard the trumpets, get a hold of this. When God is fighting your battle, they didn't have no guns. They didn't have no bow and arrows. They took a trumpet, a glass bottle, and a torch, and look what God done. Gideon, as soon as the Midianites heard the trumpets, they ran in fear out of their camp, pushing, tripping, and hitting each other the whole way. So Gideon had beaten up the Midianites with only 300 men.